heard from is Madam Elizabeth Boateng. She's been a widow for 22 years. And currently she has 3 children. As she lost the first one she lost the other child in labor. She gave birth all right, but then she died after giving birth. And so the child, who is a granddaughter or a grandchild to Madam Elizabeth over here, has been given to the 3rd child to cater for. All she is saying is that she doesn't have a place to lay her head. She needs accommodation. She is patching with her brother. And then what she is saying is that the first child is in Tema, struggling to make ends meet. And so Madam Benedicta should be generous enough to give her accommodation as well as give her money to start something with, because she herself is not feeling too strong to work. And then if the children can also be remitted or taken care of, she will be glad. She is praying that Madam Benedicta will be given more strength to help widows just as she is. Thank you. Who we heard from is Madam Peter Santua. She's been a widow for almost 2 years now. According to her, she has 7 children. And after the demise of the husband, things haven't been easy for her at all. Considering her age, a woman of 65, after the demise of the husband, the relatives of the late husband claimed all the properties, the cocoa farms that he used to farm her. They've taken it all from her and her kids. According to her, the man was ill for 5 whole years. No relative showed up to show concern. But right after the death of the husband, which is after the 1 week celebration, they came claiming the lands. According to her, she doesn't have, or she didn't have enough to litigate or take the issue to court. And so they had their way. But rather, she took it to pastors and some chiefs. Even though they all supported her, telling the relatives of the late husband that it is not lawful for them to claim the lands, it still fell on their feet. It didn't go anywhere. According to her, they have even gone to plant some juju and other voodoo items on that particular piece of land, claiming that if she should step foot onto that land, she should just get paralyzed. So out of fear and apprehension, she's been far away from them. She's been keeping her heart from them. What she will seek from Madame Benedicta is that one of her kids is epileptic. Due to that fact, every month she has to gather 500 cities to buy drugs for her kids. Else it wouldn't end well for that particular child. She's pleading with Madame Benedicta that if Madame Benedicta would be able to grant her legal assistance to claim at least part of the land for her and her children, she will be glad. Also, if Madame Benedicta will be generous enough to give her a capital to start a business with, she will be glad, because as she's sitting here now, even though someone has given her a little piece of land to farm on, strength is failing her. When she bends a little, she feels very tired. And so because of health reasons and aging, she needs a little capital to start a business with. She is also pleading with Madame Benedicta, if at least some medical checkup can be run on her particular child who is epileptic, she will be glad. She's saying that God should bless Madame Benedicta and that Madame Benedicta should be granted longevity to be able to continue with the good work that she has begun. Thank you. And so that was the voice of Madame Sarah Odu. According to her, she is not a widow, but then she's been married twice with 6 children. It's not as if the spouses are dead, but then she's here due to the fact that they have refused to take care of the kids. Because of that, she is struggling. She is seriously struggling with the upkeep of the children. So she needs Madame Benedicta to assist her with a capital to start a business with. Aside that, she should aid her with the schooling and education process of the kids. She is pleading with the Lord that the Lord will bless Madame Benedicta and then give her more strength as she continues with this course. Thank you. The story we heard is that of Madame Victoria Edu. According to her, she's been a widow for more than a year now. More than a year now, a widow with 11 children. According to her, when she contacted the relatives of the dead husband, they told her to forge on she should continue pushing ahead. If she's able to make it with her children, she takes all the credit. If she's unable to make it with her children, that one too, she takes all the disgrace. And so she's been forging on because she has no one from her side either coming to her aid. She's praying that Madame Benedicta will be touched immensely by God to do her good. She can't specify because all the children have gone out, going to seek for greener pastures. And so whatever thing she deems fit to give unto her and her children, she will be glad to accept. And that she is saying that God should give Madame Benedicta longevity to continue with what she has started. God should give her good health, because when there is health, there is wealth. Thank you. With us here is Madame Ama Abokoma. She's been a widow for 8 years. Right? Sorry. She's been a widow for 4 years. Okay. A widow for 4 years. And then she has 5 kids with the man. As per the tradition, she buried the man herself. No relative from the side of the man decided to help her. As if that was not enough, after the burial of the man, who was a pastor at African Faith Church, the relative, a particular brother of the man, wanted to take or contend with the woman per the land that the late husband left. Upon finding out that the woman would not agree for the man to take that particular piece of land, they agreed to frustrate the woman's life together with the children. And so they decided, as said earlier on, they decided to take the portion that the man had left for the church, which is the African Faith Church, because they thought that the man did not do anything for the family. So they had the sole right to claim that land. But because the woman refused, they decided to frustrate her life. The African Faith Church decided to help with the upbringing and the catering of the children. But the family refused. In the latter end, poisoned the minds of the African Faith Church, saying that it isn't Madame Ama Abakoma isn't the only widow in this world, and the children are not the only orphans in this world. Per this statement, the Faith Church decided to decline their offer of assistance. Ever since, this woman hasn't been able to work. The children are now with her because Madame Elizabeth, who was a daughter to Madame Ama, is also a widow. As we are speaking now, she is staying with her mother, with her 4 children. The mother is now pressurized because she's the only one working to cater for the 9 of them in that house. The lady is no longer working. She is a widow, as said earlier on. She has become a liability other than an asset to the mother. She is pleading with Madame Benedicta to assist her, that her youngest child is 16 years and is schooling. She is pleading with Madame Benedicta that if she can offer her legal assistance, which will compel her late husband's relatives to take care of the children, she will be glad. And then if she will give her a capital to start a business with, probably the selling of provisions, maybe provide her a shop also to work in, it will go a long way to help her to cater for her other children. Thank you. With me here is Madame Josephine Tay. I said it earlier on. What she's saying is she's been a widow for 2 years now, a widow with 7 children. According to her, the husband died of a prolonged illness. According to her, for some time, they didn't know what was actually wrong until he was diagnosed with diabetes. So it was that same diabetes that took his life. What she's saying is after the demise of the husband, there has been no support, no help at all. Even the house that she struggled to get with her own husband has been claimed by the relatives of the late husband. According to her, they've not said anything. Even the funeral, after the funeral, the money that they received were all taken by the family members of the late husband, because they claimed that they loaned an amount for the funeral, and so whatever money that they had derived from the funeral ceremony they are taking it to pay the loan without having these people at heart. And so due to the fact that the house has been taken from them, she's now patching with a friend of hers. She included 8 people, patching with another friend who also has kids and a husband. What she will plead for Madame Benedicta is that it is out of her own will that she says that she's helping widows. And so whatever thing she thinks will help her and her children, she should give unto them. Because she doesn't know where to start from. She doesn't even know what to ask, because she seems to need everything when it comes to life. Her own self and her children. An accommodation will also go a long way to help her. And what she said. She's saying that God should continue to bless Madame Benedicta, because she knows that it's not an easy task that she has taken upon herself to do. Thank you.